let's talk about holidays, holiday treats. It's that time of the year again where you feel like you start to eat a lot of rich foods, and you're faced with a lot of choices this month where you have to decide whether or not you're going to eat something and whether or not it's worth it. And let's face it, 9 times out of 10, when we're faced with that choice, we say yes to it. And we may try to portion control, but we do say yes to it because we say, oh, what the heck, it's the holidays. I've said it year after year for as long as I can remember. I've never been able to control myself during the holidays. Food is a part of my life. Food is a part of my traditions. Food is a part of my family. And it's a way that everybody in our family expresses their love for everybody else. My grandma has made a collection of her recipes in a recipe book that she compiled with my aunt, probably about 10 years ago, with all of her family recipes that she used and has used throughout the years and wanted to pass down to us so that we'd have them with us forever. Yet I know that when I'm putting that in my body, it's not good for my waistline, it's not good for my heart, it's not good for my body in general. So it's a constant struggle for me to go back and forth with what's the comfort factor and what's really good for my body. So I try to use the 80-20 rule with all things related to my health. I do my best to do workouts 5 to 7 times a week, usually average about 6, just to be sure that when I do use that 20% out of the 100 to eat something that maybe I shouldn't be eating, it's not the best choice for my body. I know that I've done something good for my body earlier in the day or in the week that is going to help to kind of contradict that. As we come up to this month of December, which is always full of treats, I'm doing a bunch of things to try to keep myself under control. I'm controlling my diet by having my Shakeology every morning. I'm doing my workouts. But now what do I do when I come to those parties? Our son's birthday is this month too, so that's kind of another added high-calorie possibility because we're going to have a birthday dinner for him. We always go out for dinner on his birthday, and always have the party kind of with the grandparents and his great-grandmas and my brother and his girlfriend. So there's always extra, that just adds one more. New Year's Eve is usually something special, so there's lots of special things, and what can we do? So I make these recipes every year, and what I've decided I'm going to do this year is cut down. Not cut down on what I make because I really like to do it, but I'm going to do the math to cut each recipe in half or maybe even in a quarter so that instead of coming out with 100 cookies, I only come out with 25. I give them away to a couple people, so I might make, maybe half the recipe so that I still have some cookies that I can give away either on a tray or have my husband bring them to the office, those kind of things to share. But that's the point is, try to save only a few so that you get a taste of it. That's your 20%. You get a taste of what you're making. You're not missing it out totally because then, to me, what's the point of working really hard all year if I never can have the treats that I really, really look forward to? So keep a few for yourself to have in the house, but not too many. I have a tendency to pick if it's sitting around. So that, got rid of that. So the same thing with the cookies. If you could just save maybe 5 of each of the cookies that you're making and you take them out as a special treat. Put them in the freezer and you pull them out, maybe one for a treat tonight or one for a treat on Saturday, and let them last. If you have one here, maybe one a week for the whole month, it's not going to hurt you as much as because I'll tell you, last year when I was baking them, I don't know, maybe you're not like me, but all the time when I bake, I end up eating 3 when they come out of the oven because they smell good, they look good, they certainly must taste good. And then you got to taste test them before you give them to somebody else. So I feel like I always was eating more before we even got them cooled off than I should have been all month. I've talked about this in previous videos before, but another thing to try is to work on, if you're going out for dinner, check the menu online before you go. Most of us have access to the internet these days, so if you know that you're going to the Cheesecake Factory for dinner tonight, or you're going to Olive Garden, check your options. You're going to Gibson's for steak, you're going to, the local American diner. Check your options and know before you go. I try to make sure that when I get to the restaurant, I know exactly what I'm going to order or have it narrowed down between 2, because if I start looking through the menu, start finding other things that sound tempting, and then you start hearing other people talk about what they want to eat, and they're thinking of ordering the, giant burrito that has all the grilled veggies in it, plus the rice and the beans, and then the guacamole on the side. My mouth's watering just thinking about that, but my body does not need all of that. So if I can go with the Southwestern salad, that's a bed of lettuce that has the grilled chicken and the black beans and the corn and the tomatoes and the cilantro and the avocado, all the things that were inside of that burrito that I really wanted, that's not going to have all of the carbs and all of the rice that are included in that tortilla and the rice. Well, fantastic. I can get a lot of the taste that I was craving for without all of that other extra filling. So if I can have that set in my brain before I go, that's half the battle. Something I saw somebody do in the restaurant today, which made me think this is a really good tip to give people for when you're going to parties, is if you're served a plate in front of you, so if you're going to like a big dinner, like if it's your office dinner or your, whatever, the Christmas party for your office or for your place of employment or your husband's place of employment, it's like a seated plated meal, take that and cut your plate in half. So like ask for a plate on the side or use your bread plate so that you don't make a big scene. And if there's like a huge piece of chicken on it or a huge piece of fish, cut it in half, keep half of it on the side, eat half of it. Potatoes, if you like them, then eat half of them and save the other half and eat your veg. Another tip is that sometimes I can remember finding myself, there's mashed potatoes on the table or mashed potatoes on my plate, and I don't really care for them, but I have to eat them because it's on my plate, so I eat what's there just because I have to finish my plate. You might have grown up in a house like that too, where if it's on your plate, you have to finish it. Well, the heck, I didn't even like them, and I ate all those calories that I didn't even need. There was probably butter, salt, and all kinds of milk in there that I didn't need, so extra calories not needed. Leave it. Don't even touch it. Just let it sit there. It's okay. Eat your half of your chicken, eat your veggies, save the other half of the chicken to go home. Same thing with dessert. If it's something that you want, then eat half of it. Or if it's your splurge day that you are giving yourself permission, eat it. But don't eat it just because. I can't tell you how many weddings I've gone to that I've eaten the piece of cake because it was like obligatory. But why? I didn't even like it. So many times you have a piece of cake at a banquet hall that doesn't even have a very good taste to it, but you eat it because you think you have to. Get yourself out of that mentality. So tips for today, as the holidays come up, portion control, check menus, and when you're baking or cooking at home, be conscious of what you're putting on your plate and what you're saving. So give away, that's just as well. Share your wealth, share your awesome bakingness, send those things out, keep a few for yourself. And then if you're going somewhere for Christmas or New Year's or Hanukkah or whatever holiday you celebrate in December, be conscious of it. Drink a big glass of water before you go and take a small plate. That's another thing I've read. If you use a dessert plate rather than a dinner plate, now you can't always do that, but if there's a dessert plate or a smaller plate available, I like to use that because when your plate is full, obviously it doesn't take as much to fill a small plate, but you feel like you have a full plate. However, if the big plate's your only option, be really conscious of what you're putting on that plate so that you're getting a smaller portion of everything. You get to taste all those goodies because you should. It's Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. It's a special day, so you should be able to eat those wonderful things that are special to that time of the year, yet you don't need to go back for a second and a third, a fourth, just because. You got to get that taste, and you have to stop yourself. So drinking a big glass of water beforehand will help you. And control your consumption of adult beverages. That is empty calories that go in your body that aren't filling you at all. So if you drink a margarita, it's going to cost you a whole bunch of calories, and you're not even going to be full. That was another thing that really, when I look back on my life, that kind of stuff, having a drink and chips before the meal even came, I can't even imagine how many calories were consumed when I really look at things from that perspective. So those are just a couple of things and tips to help you to get through the holidays. I wish you a very happy holiday, no matter what holiday you spend. Enjoy it with your family and friends, and let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you out.